Mold concerns are growing, if you will, inside a suburban townhouse community. Some living there now reaching out to Help Me Hank, concerned about the conditions in their townhomes and how it could be affecting their health. Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester has more from West Bloomfield tonight. Hank.
Let me show you this problem. Take a look. You can see the mold here on the wall, on the ceiling. People living in these townhomes concerned about their health and also concerned about how management is handling this one.
It's been chaos.
Jim Locia is worried about how the mold here in his townhome could be affecting his health.
I didn't realize there was black mold throughout the unit. When I went to emergency with nosebleeds, she looked up my nose. There were open sores.
A pipe problem last summer causing water issues. And in other units, well, they're being dried out today. A property restoration team on site here at the 83 West complex in West Bloomfield.
I just got home. The whole place is flooded.
These videos and photos shot by Jim capture the water damage, and while some repair work has now been done, this is the concern left behind. Mold on the walls. He says he can't get answers.
How has management in the apartment complex been dealing with it?
They haven't been. Corporate would not provide supplies and give the approvals for things in many units, including this one, to get fixed.
So I went into the leasing office today, and it was obvious they were waiting for me.
Hi, how are you? Good. From Channel 4, we're trying to get some information regarding units that have mold in them. Do you know who I could talk to about that?
At this time, we are reviewing this with our corporate office. May I get your contact information so we can get back to
You already have it all scripted out? Wow, I've never seen that before. Okay. I do want to share part of that statement.
Nosebleeds, weekly trips to the ER, and nowhere to escape from their mold-ridden home. First Coast News reporter Bethany Anderson is on your side this evening. She joins us live from Creekside Park in Southside Estates with more about this. Bethany, I can't imagine having to deal with that.
Anthony, no, absolutely. The people who live in this trailer behind me tell me they'd almost prefer that their children played and even lived outside because they've had this makeshift roof since Hurricane Irma. And what's on the inside of this building is far worse than what's on the outside.
Just a few days ago, emergency room, and
medical papers detail Louis Marcano's recent health problems.
Everything that we're using that has this black mold.
A former veteran.
I got hit by a Humvee with my right knee. My right knee split like a V.
Marcano moved his family from Virginia to Florida for a sunny and fresh start. What they got, this mobile home damaged by Hurricane Irma, just a few weeks after they finished unpacking.
They were supposed to get starting to live my life over and restart as a civilian and cope with my PTSD. And here we are, and it's just frustrating every day, and it's depressing every day.
He says he's asked Creekside Community Park Management for help. They put up a temporary roof, but over the past few months, he says workers have failed to address serious issues like holes and black mold taking over the ceiling.
And there's water damage everywhere.
Marcano says his kids have regular nosebleeds and get sick constantly.
My oldest, he's in 6th grade. He researched it and he knows what it is and he's scared. And as a father, it's just hard because it's like my hands are tied behind my back. I don't have the means or the funds to get out of here, and this complex is not assisting us at all.
As for that complex, we reached out to them this afternoon, and when we spoke with management, the woman I spoke with anyway said she was completely unaware that any of this was going on, but that she was going to take the steps to make it right. That being offering the family extended stay until all repairs are made, or either that or giving them their lease deposit back as well. So if they wanted to break their lease, they could move out as soon as possible. Reporting live in Arlington, Bethany Anderson, First Coast News, on your side.
A moldy hotel in Grand Forks is making people sick. That's how a whistleblower described it to us. And it's not the first time this hotel owner has been in hot water, and the property manager has conflicting statements. Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin investigates whether dangerous hotel rooms were neglected in Grand Forks.
I was not breathing at all.
A horror story at a hotel.
He got me back to breathing, and then I went to the hospital.
Tanya Kiefer was staying at the Grand Forks Inn & Suites in Grand Forks back in July of 2016. She says dangerous mold caused her respiratory failure.
If you see this place, you would say, why in the hell is it open?
Kiefer sent us these pictures she says were from her hotel room. In an email from a state health officer, it said that she got a voicemail around 2:44 in the morning that someone was going to the hospital. Kiefer says that was her. Shortly after, an inspection led to a letter recommending that the owner at the time, Mr. Patel, cease operations because of extensive mold and electrical fire hazards have been inadequately addressed. The property managers, JLJ Management, operate a number of different hotels in Grand Forks and Fargo. They maintain that Kiefer's claims are false. Jeff Jasperson of JLJ Management said in an email the letter recommending the closure of the hotel happened before he was involved. However, health department records show that he was there during the inspection that led to the letter. Jasperson says he never got the letter from the county, and over time, various improvements have been worked on behalf of the owner. Today at the Grand Forks Inn & Suites, the doors are locked, but it's only been for a couple of months. Management says the renovations are not related to health code violations, and Kiefer's claims came after a dispute over paying for her room. Jasperson says Kiefer couldn't provide proof that she ever went to the hospital, but she sent us documents saying that she was treated at Altru.
I came home after that, and I've had nothing, but I'm sick constantly.
Her concerns is that other people could be exposed to unsafe rooms. From Grand Forks, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
Now, the owner of the hotel at the time, Bharat or Brian Patel, has a checkered past. Multiple reports say he had to settle a $184,000 lawsuit for back wages and damages to 200 of his employees at 15 hotels across Montana, Minnesota, and North Dakota. Attempts to reach Patel were unsuccessful.
Readers and researchers, listen up. Workers are going to have to shut down the Venice Public Library due to an ongoing mold problem. John Rogers joining us now live in Venice with this story. So, John, this really just comes down to the almighty dollar, it sounds like. What, too expensive to make the repairs?
Good evening, Keith. That certainly is the case. And starting February 1st, you won't be able to walk inside this library anymore because officials say that they don't want to expose others to this impending danger.
The Venice Public Library has been a popular gathering place in this community for 50 years.
This is one of the great places in Venice.
But there's a looming danger inside. Since 2012, mold has repeatedly been detected, and the problem keeps getting worse.
This room is locked, and we're not allowed inside because the mold problem is so bad in there. And county officials are so concerned about mold spreading through the rest of the library that they're not taking any chances.
Today, county commissioners decided to close the library on February 1st.
It's really with an abundance of caution about the well-being of our citizens.
So far, no one has experienced health problems because of the mold. It's too expensive to clean up, so officials say closing the library was the best option. But that doesn't make the decision an easy one.
So will you be sad to see this place go?
Of course. I think all of us here.
This library is beloved.
What does this library mean to you?
Honestly, it's like a family. I mean, I know the people in the youth, at the youth desk. I know them by name.
But officials say it's for the public good. And in the near future, they'll have a brand new library to look forward to.
Now take a look, guys. Not far from the library, you'll find the Venice Community Center, just about pretty much across the street. There, a temporary kiosk will be set up on February 1st so that people can check out books and reserve them as needed. Again, the main library will be closing on February 1st.
Libraries are so important to communities. Any idea on when they're going to actually build this new one, if they're even going to do that?
Not clear yet. They're going to be holding a series of meetings sometime in the near future. They'll discuss plans to build a new library, but it could take about 3 years before they finally have a new library up and running.
Well, that's down the road a ways. All right, John Rogers reporting live in Venice. Thank you, John.
I have like no place to live.
This has taken everything. My home, my money, everything.
Tenants at Rising Estates Apartments in Davison say a growing issue of mold is taking over their livelihood.
This is in the walls, this is in the roof, this is coming through my paint. this is not safe.
Skylar Rogers says she has asthma and is immunocompromised, but day and night faces mold exposure. She says the building's regional manager told her that resolving the problem would require her to evacuate at her own expense.
With my financial situation, I don't have money. I don't have anywhere to go.
Sasha Lansgroner also in a tight spot.
I was trying to get them to clean it up appropriately because, like Skylar, I didn't have the means to be able to move right at that particular point in time.
But 10 days after the property manager and maintenance came to inspect the issue, she says she received a notice to quit, essentially an eviction notice. The reason why, not given.
She said she legally didn't have to give me a reason.
That was in March, about the same time that Rogers re-signed her lease, one with a $125 price hike per month.
And I asked my park manager, I said, our rent's going up $125, yet I'm calling you every week because of a mold issue. And I'm paying you more money for situations that aren't being resolved.
She says she's tried to get the issue fixed. With her pleas, she says mostly unanswered.
They have completely disregarded all of my concerns. They have threatened me. They need to condemn the building and they need to quit hiding the issue.
Rogers wants the tenants at Rising Estates Apartments to know their apartment may be affected too.
Everybody in this building, in this apartment complex, needs to know how bad the mold actually is.
Reporting for TV5, I'm Kendall Keys.
One of the tenants tells TV5 she has contacted an attorney. We reached out to the property manager, who had no comment. We also contacted the owners of Rising Estates Apartments, Monarch Investment and Management Group, but we have not heard back.
A first-time homeowner says that her dream to own turned into a nightmare after what she found was living in her home's walls and floors. Our Courtney Fromm visited with the homeowner in Hockley County about the black mold that put her health in danger.
Now, we were actually only able to go inside for just a few minutes because the mold is so bad and it's everywhere. We even had to wear masks. Now, the homeowner says she moved in and within a month she started seeing symptoms.
I moved in January 1st and I just kept getting sick and I had to go to the ER.
Have you ever seen a case like this bad?
Not this bad, no.
Kaylee Talbot says she's thankful they found this silent killer before it was too late.
About a month ago, my dog was in the bathroom and she fell through the floor and we found mold. And then come to find out, it went into the hall, it was on the ceiling, it went into the other bathroom, into the kitchen, it was just all over the whole house.
Kenneth Clayman, a mold removing specialist, says this is a reminder your home isn't immune even though we live in a dry climate.
When they had that water leak, I believe it got underneath that trailer, and without there being any ventilation, that water had no place to go, but it found the drier air that was, up in the cavity of the house. After a water loss can start growing within 24 to 48 hours.
And this type of fix doesn't come cheap.
Did you pay for the house, if you don't mind me asking? $70,000.
Okay.
So
and you're going to have to pay
like $10,000 to get it fixed. So I was pretty worried and pretty scared for my health just because I still have to go to the doctor and I'm still having trouble breathing.
Now, a lot of her personal items, including clothes, are still inside her house while she's just kind of living in limbo until this all gets figured out. If you'd like to help, we have put a link on our webpage at everythinglubbock.com. For now, reporting in Hockley County, I'm Courtney Fromm, KLBK News.
Thanks, Courtney.